Today is the 6th day of August 2020 in Abaco, Bahamas. And this is for the Bahamian people to take note. I know times are tough, but you got to pay attention to detail. The Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is sending every Bahamian home, not to work, to stay locked in like prisoners, not to collect a salary, to lose mortgages on property that you paid for 25 years, not to go to work, not to collect a salary in Abaco, not to eat. Close all the eateries in Abaco. It's a Caribbean-style genocide. The Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas had ordered his people to starve to death in Abaco. 2 weeks, no food. But the Prime Minister and his cabinet, probably the only one in the Caribbean that not had a paycheck. Every month, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas and every cabinet minister get a full salary, no reduction at all. My member of parliament there in Henfield gets $100,000 a year. He have already got $300,000 as member of parliament for North Abaco. We haven't seen Darren to have a meeting one day, 11 months after the most deadliest hurricane to ever hit the Caribbean and indeed the world. While the Prime Minister and his cabinet collectively is ordering us to go home without collecting a salary, without getting anything to eat, they are eating caviar, lobster, steak, and have it served to them daily. Never have seen a hungry day. The people in Abaco, in my area, 11 months haven't had water, electricity. There's not even any wires on the pole to run electricity to your house. Yet, this Prime Minister have sent everybody home for 2 weeks. This is unheard of in any caring country. Every caring government lead by an example. If the Prime Minister is gonna ask us to take a paycheck cut, he also should take a cut on his income. There was a man a long time ago. His name was Jesus the Christ. He fed 5,000. In the Bahamas, the most honorable Prime Minister is starving 5,000 to death with his unheard of order. That doesn't help anything. It's not curing anything. But if he was a Prime Minister for the people, a servant of the people, he would lead by an example by first applying these rules to himself and then let it trickle down to his people in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But he's not leading by example. Neither day was he able to go without food. Neither month he was not unable to pay his bills. Every month since this whole fiasco started, he has not taken a reduction in salary, nor have his cabinet. My member of parliament don't live in Abaco. The $100,000 is for Abaco. Has it been spent on Abaco? We would know because we haven't seen him. You see, unlike the other people the member of parliament, and the other lady that want to run for North Abaco. Kai lives amongst his people. Kai could feel what it feels like to not have a hot meal for the last couple of days and would not have a hot meal for the next 2 weeks, according to this unheard of order by the Prime Minister. I live it. I live amongst my people. I feel what they feel. That is why I can speak for them, because I speak to them. That is the beauty of Kai caring. I don't live in a distance and catch a flight here. I live it every day. Some people can't talk like this because he that knows it feels it. They don't know it because they're in Nassau and they cannot feel what we're feeling after Category 5 hurricane. This government has boasted on interfering with our constitutional right, infringing on our constitutional right, and being braggadocious about it, and turning the Bahamas into a police state. You imagine in Abaco, police come in your yard and say, y'all don't live here. I want everybody to disperse. How does he know who lives in our yard? This is what I call the police acting as a military and turning this country in Abaco. Abaco has been a police state since Hurricane Dorian. This is 11 months of us being the first police state in the country for what the things the police have done to the residents of Abaco. To a point of coming to their house and shoot them in the head, kill them dead, standing in the doorway. Unacceptable. Don't know what happened after they've shot and killed innocent people. But this government will go down in history as the worst government in the history of this country. This Prime Minister will go down in history as the worst Prime Minister in the history of this world, when he could order his people to starve to death, when he could order us not to pay our bills, not to go to work, to stop commerce for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But yet, he collects a salary every month, driven around in chauffeured car, doesn't have to pay for fuel for his car, don't have to pay for his lobster, don't have to pay for his caviar, don't have to pay for his steak, all served him on a platted plate every day, every night, every month. I can repeat it 1,000 times. His salary has not been cut. Neither have any member of his cabinet have lost any salary. Yet, we are sent home for months and weeks without any salary and shut down the tourist industry of the country to make sure that we starve. This is unacceptable. Kai cares. That's why I could tell you, this Prime Minister and this FNM government will go down in the Caribbean and the world as the worst of the worst. Each one of these Kai care video, as I am in Abaco, can't get a hot meal until the Prime Minister lifts his order 2 weeks from now. We don't have a stove. We don't have a fork. We don't have a spoon. We don't have a bowl. We don't have a pot. We don't have no electricity. We don't have any water. How could we survive 2 weeks? He is practicing a Caribbean-style genocide on the people of Abaco after they went through a storm. The storm called the FNM government is still alive and brewing longer than Hurricane Dorian. It's one of these Kai Cares video. Kai Cares. That's why I'm letting the Bahamas know that this Prime Minister doesn't care for the citizens of this country. It's all about him. It has always been about him. And we are left to starve to death. Kai cares. That's why he's here.